why did it sign me out? I was literally off the game for like 5 seconds. Game. That doesn't make any sense. Alright, shut up, man. Oh yeah. Why am I here? And why did this? It better have kept all my fucking mods on my shit. Don't make me have to redo all this bullshit again. I had the best shit on, and nah, I think we're good. Oh, nope, never mind, we're not good. Yes. Let's try that out. Yeah, whatever. You know what you know what I'm pissed off about? You know what makes me tired? I'm honestly kind of tired of all these superhero movies coming out. It's ridiculous. Like, I've just watched, which one did I do? Let's do this one. I've just seen all the new like Marvel movie bull crap that's coming out. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Cause okay, you know, I enjoy superhero type movies is my shtick. About as much as sci-fi, but not as much. So I fucking hate this map. So I originally would be happy, but the problem is there's people. I'm just getting burnt out on them, man. I don't think I'm the only one who thinks this. People are just getting burnt out on it. Let me be clear. I'm talking specifically Marvel and DC movies, right? Because those seem to be the movies that like are being thrown out the assembly line. So yeah, oh hey. Actually, you know what, the plan is to sit here and let him do all the killing. And because of that, like, again, I'm just burnt out on superhero movies. Like, I've seen, like, you know what, movies like, well, I don't know if The Boys or The Invincible would be considered movies, though they're like about an hour-long episodes. I mean, but the season of The Boys is over, and I don't know if The Invincible's going to make something new. But the problem is, like, okay, let's talk about the story of most. Like, there's really no decent story in any, like, I've watched Doctor Strange. Yeah, Doctor Strange. And, like, I didn't really understand where they wanted to go past that movie, other than, you know, Scarlet Witch. I mean, don't get me wrong, that she's absolutely that powerful in the comics, whatever. But the problem is everyone else just doesn't seem to be. Oh, spoilers by the way. I should put that at the beginning of this fucking video. She seems to just be the only one who is overpowered here. Everyone else just sort of seems to be side characters, which is fine if that's the way they want to make the movie. I shouldn't run out of time. That's fine, but I was just bored. Man, me and the people I've seen it, my friends I've seen it with, and my brother was just bored the whole fucking time. Because it's like, you know, the fight scenes are boring. Like, it's like whenever, again, spoilers by the way, whenever they actually get into the whole multiverse type bullshit, and you have Xavier and that one guy from the Fantastic Four, which they've hinted at, and they've obviously built the whole movie based on that hype. And don't get me wrong, that was a good concept. The problem was they were literally on screen for 5 seconds before Scar Rich came in. I'm all out of energy. And like obliterated them all. That was the problem. It's like they had such a decent goddamn premise that had people thinking and had people like, oh, whoa, then maybe we'll be going in this universe and dealing with these people. Or maybe we'll be going to the Fantastic Four universe and dealing with them. Not like none of that. They're like, again, your expectations are so fucking low now. And you know, I knew they wasn't gonna do something that grandiose. Like I knew it, but we still watched it based off curiosity. I'm pretty sure that's why most people turn into like Marvel shows or even like Disney in general. Disney shows in general, like Obi-Wan. People tune in based off curiosity. But it don't even matter if the people who tune in on episode 1 don't stick around. But anyway, back to superheroes. I mean, we can talk all day about what they're doing in Star Wars. But, and so she eats all of them, and it's just the fight scenes were, okay, she obliterates Black Bolt in like 2 seconds. Obliterates fucking that Fantastic Four guy in like 2 seconds. But then for some odd reason, when it comes to that black version of Miss Marvel and Captain Britain, she decided to fist fight them. And I'm like, what? Okay, wait a minute. So you proved you're the strongest goddamn character in that entire fucking show, and then you resort to fucking fist fighting the other people. And apparently a falling stone building obliterates the black Miss Marvel. Is it Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel? I don't know. It's been a while. I don't care. Like, I just didn't really retain much from the movie. All I know is the fight scenes were boring. And again, that's kind of why, again, the thing about the comics, right, this is the crux of all the comic books, is the fight scenes. Like, they want to see, alright, who's going to throw the fuck down with who, and how's it going to go. I mean, it's not like Dragon Ball Z where it's fight porn. I mean, there's a little bit more story to them. But I mean, it gets you interested. But no, the fight scenes, even at the very end, the crux of the movie, kind of ass. And then they threw this one random character called America Chavez. Whoever the fuck she is. Apparently she has the power of magical blue shit. And I guess she's a character. Like, apparently we're on the 6th wave of fucking Marvel. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I remember, like, Eternals was, like, 4th wave. I don't know what all happened between all that wave or generation, but now we're on the 6th wave of Marvel. Like, the problem is, they throw out superhero movies like off an assembly line, and don't even get me started on the humor. Like it's like they copy each other's homework. Every Marvel movie copies each other's homework, because you always have to have that quirky, weird, goofy humor, like in every situation that's like serious, and like it is just why. It's like, is that what type of movie? It's like, okay, you can't be South Park, you can't be edgy, you can't be dark like the comics used to be. So all that's really is left is for you to be quirky and have the Fortnite humor and Rick and Morty humor and all that. It's just, after a while, that just gets old. I mean, okay, that humor works in Fortnite, right? And if you don't know what I mean, man, like, good for you. Cause like, if you watch any of the new like game trailers that came out, the new was it E3, and like there's this like Rick and Morty game that, well, it's not really a Rick and Morty game, it's a game based around that premise, made by the same people. And watch that trailer and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Or we'll watch any video game trailer that's coming out in the West and you'll know what I'm talking about when I say the quirky humor that's just, after a while, gets annoying. Cause I thought I'm the only one who really brings this up, and I'm just the fucking grandfather here, or I'm just a fucking idiot here. But I mean, other people are starting to point this out. It's like, you know, we have this weird quirky humor, and that's just about really all we have going for us. It can't be edgy. This is what happens when you absolutely obliterate your movie. You decide, you know what, let's not make something that's funny. Let's check all the boxes that, like, okay, don't be edgy, don't be dark. Just always happy. And that's the one problem with all the Marvel movies, in my opinion. Like, all of them have this problem. And I mean, that's just one tiny issue out of a myriad of issues, to be honest. I mean, we could talk about, you know, the whole going woke, going broke, which actually happens. I mean, I think Buzz Lightyear is just a perfect example of why if you go woke, you go broke. Like, before Buzz Lightyear I mean, okay, there are other situations, but they were, you know, you could argue, yeah, like, I guess, say, Game of Thrones, like, they went woke, but you could argue that they decided that they ran out of ideas. Instead of waiting for George R.R. Martin to actually write something and actually finish the story, they decide, nah, we're just gonna do this ourselves. Okay, you can argue, but again, I guess the woke was probably part of it. But alright, you can argue it was just a poor business decision on the part of the screenwriters, which is why that failed. And it's like, alright, fair enough. Yeah, but that's just one. Well, there's probably other examples, but I mean, again, the case of Buzz Lightyear, and obviously we know why Disney does, and that's the problem, why Disney does that shit. People are seeing this, and like, you know, normal people can't really articulate why they don't want to see Buzz Lightyear, but, you know, people just don't see it. And, you know, because people tend to speak with their wallets and not with, you know, words. Oh God, what the fuck's going on? Why am I unable to whip my gun out? That's unacceptable. There we go. But back on superhero movies. I'm just... And again, The Boys and Invincible are just a couple of examples of good superhero movies. When they stop catering to, you know, I guess, woke sensibilities is, I guess, what I'm trying to get at. Like, they're all copy-paste, and don't even get me started on Disney's new marketing plan. Like, I find it very weird that only Disney movies and Disney actors get any amount of hate. Example, whenever that Miss Marvel fucking show, obviously the actor came out and started saying all this stuff about, oh, I'm getting all this internet hate from trolls, and it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to give any examples. That motherfucker is invisible. What an ass. So, okay, I'm not going to give any examples. Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, obviously I'm against people, you know, being shitheads, and if it happens, obviously I'm going to call it out, but that's the problem. There's really, they don't come out with any examples. And the same thing with that one, what was that Inquisitor from Star Wars Obi-Wan? Her name. Again, she's another actor from Disney that's getting hate. Like, I don't understand, apparently getting hate. It's like, okay, so it's only Disney movies that get online trolls, harassment, and hate and racism. Only Disney. And then, like, you know, anime doesn't get hate, surprisingly enough. I mean, Korean movies, studios, or Korean studios and actors don't get hate. I don't think Squid Game got any quote-unquote hate or harassment. It's only Disney for some reason. It's like, huh, why is that? Why is it only fucking Disney that seems to get any goddamn hate? It's just something to keep the noggin jogging. It's almost like they use that as their marketing tactic. They're like, oh, our actors are getting hate, so here's how you can stick it to the haters or the racists or the sexists or whoever. Buy our products. If you buy our products, then you're really sticking it to those haters. Because again, it's odd how, again, anime, you don't hear any anime studios getting quote-unquote hate. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that they get absolutely no hate whatsoever, like 0%. All I'm saying is, you know, you have several million people who, well, I'm not going to say partake in the product, because obviously the problem with Disney is like no one's really watching their shit. I mean, they're doing fine enough to keep producing this shit. I mean, honestly, your production is suffering because of it, because I like that one scene about on that one movie with the CGI. Like, they're obviously doing everything in their power to lower the production price of their movies. But anyway, I lost my train of thought, which is fine. Oh yes, back on the whole hate train. It's like, I don't understand. Like, I'm gonna coin this myself, and I'm gonna call it the Disney marketing tactic, where they can't, they're afraid to actually put out an actual product, so they reimagine, redo this, redo that, and they just make all these movies that with no end goal, they're just movies just for the sake of being movies. Then they try selling their product based off, oh hey, our actors are getting fucking racist or sexist tweets, so yeah, buy our product, and that'll definitely stick it to them. Like, that's just obvious, that's their tactic, and it's kind of annoying. I am about sick and fucking tired of all these goddamn things. Pregnant pause. But anyway, again, I support true diversity, guys. I'm with you. I support diversity. You know, I watch anime. You know, I watch South Korean movies. Like, if y'all want to support true diversity, like, let's not watch. Like, let's not watch Disney. Apparently, Disney seems that every time Disney puts out a product, they seem to be this lightning rod of hate. Which is fine. I mean, you have people going to Disney, like, expelling all their hate and vitriol at Disney, right? And, you know, because of that, there's less hate in the world, apparently, since it's all just targeted towards Disney and their multi-billion-dollar company and millionaires. You know, I think it's an abject good for society. But, you know, I would support that, but I'm not. You know, because I'm a diverse person. I watch anime, you know, so that I think that's what people need to start doing. At least until Disney decides to, I don't know, put out a product actually worth watching and not shove out just another superhero movie off the assembly line. Or at least they should take a few cues from anime. Like, I know it's shocking, right? I know they don't want to make anything new because they're afraid, but you know, maybe they should. Just suggestion from a customer. What the fuck am I kidding? They're never gonna do that. Fuck me. Alright, I'm really just doing Nightwave and talking about shit that pisses me off.
This
I'm not
is
saying
Nora Knight, letting you know she's hanging with you now
Mark,
that
I
you're
thought I
over
said
the
pick
hump
up.
and on
Shut
the
the hell
home
up,
stretch.
Nora, please shut up. Shut up.
Yeah.
I mainly just play this game fucking alone. Oh,
Why are
fuck.
these fools still breathing my air?
I'm not saying the West can't put out shit. I'm just saying if they cater to, you know, woke sensibility and ESG scores and all this other shit, and they reimagine, remake, redo this and that. Oh yeah, I did read an article about Game of Thrones and how they don't want they doesn't want a bunch of white people in there, so they're gonna replace the pedigree of certain characters
We're here in
with
search of lost artifacts
black
and items
people
buried deep below the surface.
or
The scanner
diverse
has
people,
picked
and
up
I'm
the
like,
target.
you know what?
Go to the dig site.
Just switch out the word a bunch of white people with, you know, a bunch of, I don't know, Jews, because I mean, at the end of the day, I guess the Jewish people are just another subset of white people, and people would be furious. But like, it's amazing how blunt they can be about this. Like, I remember, like, in 2016, they would never be able to get, they would never get away with saying that in 2016. Hell, or 2017 or 18. So, it's amazing how they feel so brazen to say this shit. It just boggles the fucking mind. Grab that. Hey, excuse me. Fucking hentai, fucking monsters. Mark. I can't mark those. Nope. But I mean, the thing with Game of Thrones is, okay, the original episodes might not have been, I guess, diverse, but it was historically accurate. I mean, believe it or not, people back then didn't exactly travel, and when they did, it was rare because it was dangerous. You know, people back then didn't have airplanes, right? You know, I talked about the whole ESG score type deal. People back then had a pretty high ESG. You know, they didn't really pollute back then.
Excavation complete.
Hey,
what we
that's
found.
what I'm talking about. And I gotta mark shit. Nah, I'll
Any
be
y'all see the
fucking
feeds
done
light
with
up?
this.
It's going down, kids.
So obviously,
Extraction
because
is now
people
available.
did not mark that. Can I mark that? Fuck the game. Because people did not travel. Yeah, you kind of did have a bunch of white people. I mean, I guess it sucks. I guess it feels bad, but hey, at least in the earlier episodes of Game of Thrones, they're actually interesting. Like the North Fraki were interesting people, despite being pretty much savages. But you know, obviously in the last episode they neutered them, and the White Walkers were actually kind of a mysterious threat. Now for some reason they decided, you know what, you know, this threat that people are talking about, yeah, let's just, you know, let's just eat them. Whatever. You know, who needs mystery and this shit anyway? Okay, that doesn't count. Anything to mark here? Oh my god, it's harder to mark anything when I have the vacuum perk on my goddamn pet, because all just yeets towards me. Why do I make things more difficult for myself than what I should? Ew. I guess we just fucking did. Fuck me, that's why. I'd also read how Blizzard pretty much abandoned the Heroes of the Storm audience. I guess that's a story for another time. But you know, I wasn't even really much like I probably watched them first. Well, I didn't really watch them chronologically, but I did watch episodes of Game of Thrones, and I was like, meh. You know, and then in college, I'm like, you know, I could actually binge watch this and get into it. But then people said the last episodes were so goddamn bad, and now I don't even fucking want to get into them. I don't even want to fucking get into the episodes if they're as bad as people say they are. And fuck it, guess I'm not. I also read something about how, was it Riot Games? Yeah, it was Riot Games who banned a whole ass team. Was it in Valorant? Was it Valorant? I believe it was Valorant. I could be wrong. But apparently, or was it Apex Legends? Fuck, whatever. So apparently, a whole ass So there's this tournament,
Okay.
and there's
Tell?
these.
A lot of people are depending on you to get this
Oh hey,
done.
something to mark. Does that not count?
Your job is to distract the enemy while a fellow Tenno operative raids the ship for much
So
needed
there's this whole
supplies.
team of players.
presence known.
It's gonna bug me that I cannot remember the fucking name. I'm sorry. All Valorant, Apex Legends, all these games are the fucking same for me. But you can fucking look it up. There's this team that got banned in this tournament. I think it's Apex Legends, because a friendly teammate was teabagging another friendly teammate. And apparently, the moderator considered it unsportsmanlike, and I'm like, right.
Life support has been cut
Maybe
off.
you would
They're trying to
have
choke
an
you out.
argument
Hold on.
if
I'm
it
sending
was
auxiliary life support.
a teammate and if it was someone in teabagging the person on the other side of the team. Now, okay, maybe you would have. Again, I think it'd be idiotic to ban a whole ass team. No, he banned the whole ass team when they actually was like okay, so you're gonna tell me a teammate teabag another teammate just for fun is unsportsmanlike.
Look
And
for
then at
personal
that
life
point,
support
when
modules
the guy
dropped by
just sort
fallen
of
enemies.
doubled down and was like, yes. I was like, okay, I have a point to all this because I don't know why I was browsing Twitter, but I was. And I seen something on Twitter that said something that was akin to teabagging in a video game is akin to actual
Life
sexual
support incoming.
harassment, and I'm over here like just flabbergasted. Like, here's the thing about Twitter, right? I feel like people outdo themselves on Twitter to say some of the dumbest fucking things on planet Earth. Then when people are like, okay, what you said is kind of fucking dumb, they're like, oh god, I'm being harassed. Oh, good heavens. Like,
I've delivered
you
a
know,
life support capsule to the area.
put something out
Activating it will
on
buy
the
you more
internet,
time.
that's probably one of the dumbest takes I've ever heard in my life. I'm pretty sure you're gonna get flack for it. You know, just saying. That's like Internet 101. Don't say stupid shit on the internet. But again, Twitter is known for stupidity, and Twitter defends people saying the most vile shit on the planet. But whenever you're like, alright, you know what, I'm a be like, and whenever you try, you know, confronting people about the stupid shit they say, they cry to the moderator like, oh god, I'm getting harassed. And, well, there you fucking go. Smart. That's why
Get ready for a capsule.
all I do is steal memes and creep on Twitter. I don't fucking interact with anybody because it's not worth it, man. It's not worth the time or the headache to deal with people who obviously knows what they're saying is dumb, but they say it anyway. Oh god, hey, pick that shit up. Let's get as far away
Another
from
life
this
support
and
capsule
pop
is now
that.
available.
Fuck. Door. Fuck. I'm burning up, but then when I turn the fan on, it blows in my eyes, dries that shit out. But when I don't, I burn up. I don't know why I still play this game. I pretty much have everything unlocked. All I'm really doing is Nightwave. And I bitch about shit. But yeah, apparently, according to these people, and actually, if I'm not mistaken, I know actually a couple people who play Riot games and tournaments getting banned for not even going after the person, actually a couple, who not even going after the person who said the tweet. The people who were, like, they don't even mention the original tweeter by name. They just say, okay, people who say teabagging is akin to sexual harassment, like that's just a stupid take. And again, these are people who also interacted with the fact that Riot Games pretty much banned a whole ass team, could consider it idiotic. And
Life
again,
support has been replenished.
I think one of Riot's statements, because Riot literally docks a couple of people in their statement. They're like, oh yeah, we're going to defend the person who says the dumb take, but we're going to let me help you. We're going to outwardly dox the people who said, who went against it. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Apparently Riot Games is a woke company now. I guess they'll go broke, be the next company to go broke, because I know there's one statement about in the new GTA, they're gonna get rid of they're gonna get rid of things. Now I don't know why. I think they said they're gonna get rid of certain sexual parts of the game, like prostitution and all that. Like prostitutes and other crude and sexist jokes. I'm like, man, okay, if the first thing you talk about in your game is what you're going to take away instead of what you're going to add, you know, I automatically assume it's going to be a shit game. I mean, I wasn't going to bother getting GTA and the new GTA anyway, because I don't know, I played GTA 5 back when it wasn't a money grubbing game. It was but I don't know, it just never really appealed to me. I guess I was one of those people who, I don't know, just wasn't much of a fan of that type of genre of games. I like Saints Row though. Saints Row was fun. And I guess they're releasing another game too that I'm skeptical about. But other than that, I guess I'm just not gonna buy their game. Okay, I gotta mark some shit. I keep forgetting. That's the entire reason I'm here. That's the entire reason I'm doing this. It's to mark shit. Because I suck. I literally suck shit in. It's kind of hard to mark. Oh, fuck you. There was a mark. I suck with it. But yep, apparently Riot Games gone woke.
30-second warning.
Just why the fuck not? I mean,
Life support activated.
and like, there's just been this trend of companies siding with random people over the internet over, you know, not only the customers, but even in this case, an employee. So there's an employee of BattleTech, right? Now, BattleTech is, again, something I'm not really into, but it looks cool. It might have been something I wanted to get into, but because of what they've done recently, now I guess I'm not. Apparently there's this employee, I think he was in the military, and like he did all sorts of conventions and talking to people, and he was a prize employee. Like, he literally, in my opinion, made the company money based off his name alone of BattleTech. But there's this one like guy who's a convicted felon or something like that, who just was just a real, I think this guy was like a stalker off the internet, like who literally threatened this
Life support has
employee.
been replenished.
Employee A, I'm gonna call him, I don't really know his name. Like, literally sent threats and everything, and he was just some random dude off the internet who, in my opinion, wasn't mentally there, but for some reason the company decided to side with him because he made certain what was it, like articles, and in his articles he expressed like certain like right-wing views, and because of that,
Running out of time.
this person decided he was going to try getting him fired. What happened next is weird because this guy talked to his publisher, right? Person who was publishing his pieces, and even the publisher was taking the side of the random guy off the internet. He's like, oh well, we don't like what you're doing because it's affecting our bottom line. And the guy is like, well, if you look at the, like, my shit isn't doing any better or worse than what it's always been doing. I mean, if in fact it's doing better, but the publisher's literally like talking to guy A, the guy who was actually a part of the company, was like, oh, well, it doesn't matter. It's like, okay, so apparently this guy defending himself, the employee, what he says doesn't matter, but the convicted guy who's fucking, for some reason, just wants to get guy A fired, just some random anonymous person who I guess probably pulled together a bunch of other anonymous people just to harass and get this guy canceled. I guess that's the word. That's literally the word to use. Get him canceled. Apparently, what they say matter. A bunch of anonymous people matter. So Battletech literally fired this guy, and I know online a couple of YouTubers I've watched were talking about it and boycotting Battletech. I don't think they really give a shit, because we live in an age where, you know, what people say, like a bunch of anonymous people say online, like we live in the age of the soundbite, where a 5-second TikTok video can get you absolutely canceled and obliterated. Now, how this pertains to this case, I don't fucking know, but I guess that kind of pertains. Like, again, it was a guy who made a couple of pieces online, guy A who made a couple of pieces online, and the guy who, the anonymous person who wanted to get him fired, decided, oh yeah, to just write to fucking Battletech, try getting him fired, and at the end of the day, that's all I assume that's all it was really about, was just getting this guy fired. And the problem is companies capitulate with these people, and what happens is the actual talent of companies leave, and they end up hiring people based off pretenses of what opinions they have, and like all that. Because it's the same thing with Blizzard, right? For some reason, Blizzard made their HR lady and put her over the whole product. Put her like over the whole, I guess it would be the production aspect of their products and of their storytelling in their games. And if you look at her credentials, she hasn't really did anything in that side of the business world, so I just don't understand why Blizzard felt the need to do that. But again, that's Blizzard. That's just a situation where, again, a company putting people who have absolutely zero talent in that field in positions of power to dictate what products the company puts out. And I guess Battletech, and again, I guess Riot Games is also doing the same thing, because again, they talk about all the things they're taking away that made GTA. I mean, I wouldn't, you know, it's like, oh yeah, that's definitely what we thought about when we played GTA was, there's a lot of sexist jokes in GTA. They should really do something about that, because that's totally what people were thinking about when playing GTA, and not about, I don't know, making fucking money and playing the goddamn game and understanding that that's the fundamental tenet of the game.
Think you?
But nah.
But see how I take
we're thinking about
a whole
that
sector just for me.
But yeah, to sum up, shut the hell up.
Smart me.
Shut the hell
yes.
up. Tech Jack, you gay. I guess to sum up everything, I mean, apparently, the West media is shit. Everything's shit. And yeah, that's just about it.